He knows how to judge stories. He knows how to select stories. He knows when to go full steam and when to step back. He understands all that. That's the main difference. In acting, I don't see anything. It's the same from beginning from there to now.
So what was that one core of Tarak that didn't change from the beginning to now as a person?
Energy. His energy levels are quite high. From it is high then, it is high now. High now. Only thing is he learned how to
10 Red Bulls తాగితే ఎలా ఉంటారో he's always like that.
And Charan sir, from Magadira to now.
चाहे मैं जितना भी पॉजिटिव रहूं, चाहे जितना भी, बट ये बात पिंच करती रहती है कि मैं सबसे डिफरेंट हूँ. I'm Arshia. I'm 13 years old and I love drawing, making new things, craft and singing. इस डिजीज की वजह से मैं बहुत लिमिटेड हो गई है मेरी लाइफ. अपने मम्मा पापा की हेल्प के बिना कुछ नहीं कर पाती हूँ. सो मेरा फियर यही है कि मैं ऐसे ही ना रह जाऊँ, ऐसे ना रह जाऊँ.
Again, Charan has loads of talent then, now, but he had absolutely no idea of how films work in the beginning. He slowly understood, same way Tarak, but his approach has been completely different now, from the beginning to now. Now he has learned to trust his instincts more, one thing. Second thing, he learned to keep himself, his mind free of what do you say, his own thoughts, his own interpretations, his own feelings. He somehow makes himself completely free of everything when he comes to my shop, and he says, I'm a complete white paper, you write whatever you want. I'll be whatever you want to be. And to that, I mean, sometimes I am amazed. Acting, I know he can do it very, very well. Like when he was, I also wanted them to dub in their own voices for all the languages. All the languages. They know all the languages, but if there is something, some fine nuance is not coming through. I was sitting there in the dubbing theatre, and there was a Vijay, the Tamil assistant director, who is correcting him. There is one particular word which is not getting the accent right. It went for like 70, 80 takes. He was going to get that in a loop, going. I was sitting there. There is not even one iota of a frustration or irritation or impatience or nothing. He was just going like that again and with the same intensity, with the same eagerness to get it right. That I am quite impressed, very, very impressed with. He didn't take that many takes for any of the shots while I was shooting, but in the dubbing, his approach to do, I will do what you want, and I will do it to my fullest ability.
Nice.
That is what I really liked about him.
Now the two of you can start in whichever order. What is the difference in him from the time you met him first to today?
Nothing has changed. His urge for telling good, big stories. His urge to make great, wonderful, visually high-giving films. Nothing has changed. The only thing which has changed in him is he's a little older now. He's got a lot of grey there. And he's more hungry. His hunger has increased as much as his success. So his hunger and his success are par with each other. Earlier his hunger was more. His success maybe he was still going there to match up to that. Bahubali, you know how hungry this man can be and how successful you can be. And he's I don't know, nothing has changed him as a person, as a filmmaker. He's just more hungry.
Yeah, so on the camera he's saying more hungry. If you switch off the camera, he'll say he's more crazy.
So, and the best part is it's not contagious. It doesn't go to anybody, it just stays with him. It stays with him.
And he was saying all the dialogues, hanging 60 feet into there, parallel. Gali.
So basically it's going like that. So it started from Jagannath. From 60 feet, he drops you. You have to go 60 feet again up there. And then he takes you again 60 feet. And the best part, and I told him, I said, do you realize I have 2 kids now?
Charan, what do you find as a difference?
Yeah, he's right. His appetite for storytelling, in enhancing his storytelling to a whole different new level I'm seeing since Bahubali, and it's unstoppable. I don't think this train is going to stop anywhere.
It shouldn't also
Yeah.
stop. Yeah. So one thing I have to talk about is the action. That's a bar you keep pushing from the time you've started. We spoke a lot about your early films and how you approached action sequences then. Now this trailer looks like you pushed all boundaries. I'm saying Bahubali was magical, it was a fictional universe, it was folklore. This seems real and mad.
Yeah.
So tell me, what was this thought?
See, I always like larger than life sequences. Everything has to be larger than life. But for that to work, you have to keep the emotions very, very real.
Correct.
If the emotions are not real, then how much ever action you do, it will just skip off the surface. It won't go into the audience's heart. It won't touch them properly. That I'm very, very sure of. I'm so sure that even I'll put emotion in a song like Not Not. Even in Nacho Nacho, there will be an emotion. So in the action sequences, I have hundreds of images continuously running in my mind. I can't keep all of them. I'll search through my emotion. So if there is an emotion running in this guy, for example, there is the shot where he is shouting at the tiger, right? There is a sequence with him and the tiger. There are thousands of ways where you can place a sequence with the tiger. So why I reached that point, this particular point, him shouting against the tiger, is that I go through the emotion. It might just look heroic that he is shouting at the tiger, but if you observe closely, there is so much of angst, frustration, so much of revolt inside that shout. So I am very particular about that. I am very particular about how he shouts, when he starts opening his eyes, when he starts going into the shout, when the shout reaches its crescendo. Everything I am very particular of. Of course, he is such a talent that he can give me what I want in just 1 or 2 takes. But I am very particular about those hitting those right notes. That comes from the chasing the emotion, not visual. Visual will follow. You chase the emotion, visual will follow you.
So this is the first time you worked with like official Hindi actors, I think. What was that like?
I will.
Alia,
I
Ajay
will.
Devgn, sir.
I will fight my whole life if needed be to take out the tag of Hindi actor, Telugu actor,
Yeah,
so
but I
tag
guess-
whatever.
I guess we just come from so many places now.
Yeah, same places. I know, and there is nothing wrong in terming someone as a Telugu actor or Hindi actor, but I don't want it to be a kind of border between people. No,
Your cinema.
Indian actors. What I want them is Indian
Not like
actors.
actor from.
So they're all one place now.
Yeah,
You don't say actor is from New York, California, Virginia. It's like your Indian cinema there. It's like
Indian actor. I want them to Indian actor, but it was terrific having them on the sets, Ajay sir or Alia.
that's a knockout.
Thorough professionals they have. Ajay sir is here so long and he knows what to do, what not to do. But he was completely comfortable. He gave me so much of comfort as a director to do what I needed him to do. And Age is a treasure house of talent. She can do her things like that. So easy to work with. I had a great time working with them.
Okay. Apart from Indian actors, you had English actors this time. So now I can say that you're English language actors.
Yeah.
I saw a bunch of them. You see those in real big Hollywood movies. They've done some really big global films.
Yeah.
And you got to put them within our system. How was the working with them?
No, because the film is set in the pre-independent era, I needed to have
British actors.
English actors, and initially we didn't know how to approach them. We were trying through different sources, and we were just not reaching the correct actors. Then I was getting frustrated a bit, and I asked Shekhar Kapoor sir to help me out. He gave me some references of acting agencies. Then we reached these people, Ray Stevenson, Alison Doody, and Olivia Morris. Olivia Morris is an upcoming talent, and Alison Doody is the heroine of Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom, or the
one of the Indiana Jones series.
Yeah, one of the Indiana Jones series. She's the heroine.
Oh, nice.
Last Crusade.
Oh,
she's the heroine of the Last Crusade, and Ray Stevenson acted in many web series, big English Hollywood films and all. Initially, it was a little bit difficult. They have a certain way of
set organization or communication in whatever.
Communication, basically communication. But they quickly came into our way of working.
Nice.
And it was very nice working. I think he immediately understood, particularly Ray immediately understood the kind of template I'm going into. And it worked really well for us. And Olivia is so good looking, so nice. Her performances are so nice. Even though the scenes are less, you can see her talent in those few scenes.
So how is it for you guys? Like, there's a set which is culturally exploding.
Yeah,
that's something that.
That's the answer. That's the answer.
So I was in aluminum factory shooting. I kept walking up and down. I said, "No, this says white people. This says people who speak Hindi. These people who speak Telugu. Animals."
It was a cultural explosion. It was.
I never saw a tiger and a horse in the same frame, just walking. No, it's like a child going into Disneyland. So you see this ride.
Yeah, like a candy shop.
You're so confused. I want to try this ride, this fight, this song. It was that interesting for me.
Nice cross-pollination actually happened. It was good to know actors from different languages, different cultures. It was nice.
Nice.
It was really good.
So now let's get to props and weapons. Now those are the coolest things you have in all your movies. They're so cool that they become posters, they become iconic images, and it's just not about right from Simhadri. I remember the axe that you've designed was so cool. It used to be in Tarak's bar for some time.
No, but actually then I came to know that was a duplicate and this was the original.
Sorry, my
he still had the original. I thought I got the original. But
the one in your house?
Yeah, no,
when
that
I
was
came
the
and
duplicate one.
Oh really? You kept the original?
The original is still there.
He kept showing me off like it's the original. He
didn't know for many years.
Yeah. And then finally he told me. And he told me that after my maturity was, increased.
Thank God.
I was a little more challenged. Otherwise, I would have literally sneaked into his house. Like, what are you doing? I want the axe.
What is it in this film, sir, that we've got?
No, I don't really know what catches the audience's imagination when I'm making the film. Only after the film releases, they find something cool, and I think, oh, this is what they caught their imagination.
Sure.
I don't.
No, but you go into a very big detail of making something.
I make the detail of everything.
Everything, okay.
Everything, every set, every prop, every statue, every door, every weapon. Even if it's if you look closely, even the barbed wire will have so much of detail. So I don't know what will catch audience's imagination and what they will think this is the coolest thing. And once they decide, then I think yes, that is the.
So what is it for you guys? What are cool things that you got to use?
I want you to I want the world to watch the one particular block where I don't think. See, he accepts it also. He said it on camera many times that he is a very visual director.
Yes, of course.
There is one shot, Rana, where what actually happens when fire and water collide.
Nice.
I can't wait for people to actually see that shot. The shot of fire and water.
Wow.
There's always this question.
It sounds like beyond, like emotionally something that.
No, you're talking about weapons,
Yeah.
and this is exactly what I'm giving you.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going to happen if I just can't wait for that.
I think that fight was like the wildest roller coaster
oh
ride
my
I was
God.
sitting on.
65 nights, and
I feel
65 nights, sir.
65 nights.
Oh,
65 nights.
If you're a bit disoriented, you don't know what day,
We
what
started 2019 summer,
and
ended 2020 December. Spread over, yeah. And we had pandemic. We had to literally stop everything, and then again get back. And when we get back, where are we? Back at nights again. I was like, this still isn't done.
I feel in that fight, Tarak and me were the props. The fire and water were the heroine.
No, trust me, I'm telling you this. No, I'm telling you. I'm not sounding very cliche or whatever, but we literally are the weapons, and the fire and water are the heroes.
wow. So
No, I'm telling
no, this is.
I
this
just
sounds
can't wait
awesome.
for the world to see it. I don't know. I think he's, as you said, he's got this crazy fancy towards action,
And violence
and this was,
I think
I don't know,
probably
this
the
was
most
so
emotional fight
beautifully-
I've ever watched.
Yeah, and it was very aesthetically choreographed as well. It's
Quite
the
poetic.
difference of both these elements, their mindset, their exposure, their urge, everything put into that. Oh my God, I just can't wait for people to watch it, and then
And I still think the
Yeah.
end shot of that episode is my favorite
damn.
shot in the film.
damn.
Wow.
Oh my
now,
God.
now the fun starts.
No, but mark my words, Rana. I think this movie is just literally is going to take people into a very emotional roller coaster. There are times when you'll be holding your seat and you will want to pull it out. You want to rip the seats off. You will cry. You will laugh. You will smile. You will be many things as a human being sitting on that chair watching Triple R.
That's awesome.
That's for sure.
It sounds like you've got to watch it now. Now I'm saying, obviously, with a film like of this scale, everything becomes really memorable. But tell me that one day on set that made it feel that you will take forever. Moment, shot.
Yeah, so the many memorable days of shooting for Triple R, or call it the big action sequences or the songs or whatever we shot for. But the first day of he announcing it to both of us that he wants to make a movie with us was that day. I wanna keep it as a memory in my heart always. It'll stay with me, because the shock we had when he said this, it was everything. It was shocking because we didn't know if either of us is going to back out from it. Because Rana, see, you know it. You've been in the industry. It's not an easy task. Knowingly or unknowingly, it's been this two rival families for the past 30 years. And though we are friends, it's not only our friendship, but it needs to translate to our fans. It needs to translate to the families, the fans as well. So, but I don't know, he called me and he said, Tarak, I need to speak to you, come home. He never says that, usually, unless and until it's work related. So I know I had this excitement. Okay, now he's calling for work. Now I think it's time he's moving on to his next project. Okay, maybe. So there's, I knew, okay, fine, there's, he wants to say something, fine. So I went home and, you know how it is, you know how his home is, you know, houses. I just had a pillow and I was just lying on the floor and just chatting. Normal stuff. And then suddenly our man walks in. So I was like, okay, now why is he here? Then my mind started shifting. So I was like, okay, maybe he came to for some other work. Fine, I think I should.
Work.
And then yeah, you know, we were like, oh yeah, I mean, he was leaving to Goa. So then after that I was like, okay, fine, you know, I think I need to give both of them some private time. Let him leave and then we'll talk. We'll get into our project. So then I was like, okay, Chakana, you guys talk. It was like, where are you going? Like, yeah, I thought you guys want to talk. So then I was like, no, I need to talk to both of you. I was like, what? Both of us were looking at each other. Then that's when he.
I'm Ram Gore. Hey, I'm Kirkal.
And I went back home.
I went to Goa and celebrated the news.
And then he called me. He called me and said, "ఏం జరిగింది?"
I remember calling him from Goa.
ఏం జరిగిందన్న? So he said, what happened? Like, I don't know. But something happened. And then, you know, meanwhile the photo, you know, the tweet was shared, hashtag RRR was there was this ... wing